Good afternoon. Well, it's been an interesting day. I've got this idea I wanted to share from after watching some comments on YouTube from our YouTube channel from Real Power Ministries about people who just keep telling me that God doesn't exist. I'm having trouble with my camera here. And how he's a fairy tale and invisible man in the sky. I've been called not too bright and closed-minded and everything else, so I can tell we're stirring some things up. But I've been thinking about this whole thing about the existence of God. As I've said before, to a person who's blind, who's never been able to see before, how do you tell them that green exists? They've never seen green, so to them, there's no such thing as, and you can't prove it to them. So I'm thinking about all this and about how can I prove the existence of God? I cannot bring him down and put him on the camera. And if I did, somebody wouldn't believe it anyway. So I got to thinking a little bit, and let's say if someone had some uranium. Okay, if someone had some strong uranium there, how do I know there is radioactive waves? I can't see them. Prove to me there's radioactive waves. I sit there after a while and get sick and all that kind of stuff. That might be some kind of proof. But one thing a person could do is, hey, I can prove there's radioactive waves. I can get a Geiger counter. So you can take your Geiger counter and you can run it and, hey, there it goes. That tells us radioactive waves. Well, then I got to thinking also, can you prove to me that there's gravity? You can't see it. You can't smell it. You can't hear it. You can't taste it. But you can feel the effects of gravity. Same way with that uranium, you can feel the effects. So then I got to thinking, odors. Can you see odors? Can you hear odors? No, you can smell them. Can you smell sounds? Can you see sounds? No, they're distinctive from each other. So basically someone who says God does not exist are believing that if something is out of the five senses, taste, smell, sight, touch, and hearing, then it cannot exist. Well, back to the Geiger counter, to be able to show that uranium has radioactive waves, you had to have an instrument to detect those waves. You can't see them, but you could detect them. So what I've got to say is, if you want to detect something in the materialistic plane, you have to have something in the materialistic plane to prove it. So if you want to know that God exists, You need an instrument to detect God. Because he is of a higher plane, a higher nature, I believe another dimension, for a lack of words. Well, do you know what we got? We have the Spirit of God and the nature of God that can detect God. And if you refuse to enter into the nature of God and you refuse to accept the Spirit of God, you refuse the existence of God. Because you have to go there to have proof of God. Now the next thing is, okay, prove to me how the world came into being if it wasn't created. I could not see forces, but yet you can see the results of it. Well, when you can see the results of a person being raised from the dead, you can see the results of a person who is demon-possessed, delivered. When you can see an alcoholic turn to Jesus and their life change. When you see a person delivered from pornography, from cigarettes, from any other addiction, any other sickness or diseases, that their life changed. Is that not a result? You can see what happens because of it. Just like the effects of uranium will make you sick, the effects of God will do things for you. It will change your life. Well, one might say, well, no, it's from reading that book, the Bible. You change because you read the Bible. Well, who inspired the Bible? So what someone be telling me that is that my imagination from reading the Bible, my imagination is what changed me? Well, where did the inspiration of the Bible come from? But my point being, for someone to deny the existence of God are limiting everything to the five senses. If I can't see it, I can't hear it, I can't smell it, I can't taste it, I can't touch it, none of that, that means that it doesn't exist, and then there's no possible way for a being that is far greater than a man to exist, and you have to be able to see him. No, that's nonsense. Again, faith in Jesus changed my life. It wasn't my imagination. It wasn't because I blindly wanted to follow a book that somehow somebody supposedly made up and everybody lied about everything. That'd be odd that everybody lied about seeing Jesus in the Bible and everybody lied about God, and yet it had all such good things come forth of it. My point being, the effects of God, the effects of Jesus have changed things. Just as effects from some uranium would change you and make you sick and do bad things. You can't see radioactivity. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. You cannot smell it. But it has effects that will affect you. That is the same thing with Jesus. He will affect you. So, if someone wants to deny that Jesus can affect you, then I can deny that there's no radioactivity on a piece of uranium. Well, that's dumb, because eventually you hang around that uranium and it's going to make it, yeah. So if you hang around Jesus, guess what's going to happen? So, I just wanted to come up with this. I didn't get near the points that I wanted to. Maybe another time I will get to that. But again, you can't see gravity. You can't see sound. God is outside the five senses and outside the materialistic plane. But now he did when he came to earth. When Jesus came to earth, came here, and he shouldn't have to do it every week and show up for every single solitary person. Hey, it's me, I'm here. And most people wouldn't believe it anyway. And when he did come, they wanted to kill him. So he did come. There were eyewitnesses. It has been written and recorded in history, and it has changed lives. It has an effect. There is proof by the changed lives that he is real. And there are senses in the spirit that you cannot explain. That's beyond the five senses. But to limit our thoughts to the five senses and think that nothing exists outside the five senses, when you see all the forces working in the universe, and just dismissing, well, if I can't see electricity, it's not there. No, I see the effects. I see what it does. I mean, the earth spins. What makes it spin? You don't have to limit yourself to the five senses. And if someone does not believe in the existence of God, go to him through prayer, ask him to show you he is real, and seek after him. Just flat out denying him and denying his existence doesn't prove anything. Just as someone tells me, well, show me God, so you prove it. Well, just denying him doesn't prove anything. Just saying, well, he don't exist, and you're funny. That doesn't prove that he does not exist. Denial doesn't prove anything. If I say, well, prove it, he has changed my life. That is proof. What more proof do I need than the result of millions of people that their lives have been changed by Jesus, by God? Something that don't exist cannot change your life. I hope I made a little sense through this. Like I say, I get pretty hammered on YouTube. You gotta have thick skin. You don't believe God exists? Seek after him. Like I've said before, accept Jesus. Seek after him. If you don't like him, the devil will always take you back. Thank you.